America's leading psychiatrists and brain health experts, and he's here to chat about his latest book, Memory Rescue: Supercharge Your Brain, Reverse Memory Loss, and Remember What Matters Most. Please welcome Dr. Daniel Amen. Wait a minute, I forgot what I was going to say. No. Truly, doctor, what is the difference between just regular forgetfulness, like, oh, I forgot my keys, I don't know where my phone is, and true memory loss? Because I think a lot of times we get a little nervous that it's true memory loss when it's just regular forgetfulness.
So as we age, it's very common to have more memory problems. But what I say, if your memory is worse than it was 10 years ago, there's an 80% chance it's going to get worse still, and you should start taking it seriously.
Okay, I'm not even joking when I'm going to say this, but how are you supposed to remember? I know that sounds, but I'm not even joking. Like, I can't remember from 10 years ago if it was bad.
Yeah, so that means you should be concerned.
Well played, Doctor. Will it accelerate later in years then? If it took 10 years to get to this point, will it then take 5 to begin to double itself?
Yes, and one of the horrifying statistics is if you live until you're 85, you have a 1 in 2 chance of being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
Wow.
1 in 2, 50% chance of having lost your mind. All of us should be on an Alzheimer's prevention program our whole lives.
Really? Okay. So you talk about some of the causes of memory loss in your book, and you also outline some of the warning signs that we should look for. There's a long list. We'll put them up. But we've highlighted a few. Take us through a couple of these and tell us what they are.
So the idea behind memory rescue is if you want to keep your brain healthy or rescue it if you think it's headed for trouble, you have to prevent or treat the 11 major risk factors that steal your mind. And we know what they are. And the good news, they're almost all preventable or treatable.
Sure.
So, for example, low blood flow is the #1 brain imaging predictor of Alzheimer's disease. Retirement and aging, when you stop learning, your brain starts dying.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Inflammation, which is so common. All of us, 97% of us, have low levels of omega-3 fatty acids that help decrease inflammation in our body. And genetics, I know you had a question about this runs in my family. What I say in the book is genes are not a death sentence. They should be a wake-up call for you to be serious to do everything else.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. And truly,
Well, my question specifically is: there's a difference between dementia and Alzheimer's. What is the difference? And how do you know if it's one or the other?
So dementia is the umbrella category that has all the different causes. Alzheimer's is one of the types. But the second most common type is alcoholic dementia. A lot of time people think that alcohol is a health food. It's not a health food. We have to stop that idea because it actually increases the risk of dementia and 7 different kinds of cancer, which we know cancer is bad for your brain.
Oh my goodness! We were always told that a glass of red wine is good for you.
Right, but it's not.
Oh my goodness!
So at Amen Clinics, I have 8 clinics around the country. We do imaging, and what we see is the smallest brains are those people who are drinking every day.
Well, we actually have a scan of a brain of one of your patients that was, you say you were able to reverse some of the signs of related to memory loss and...
Yeah, so this is actually a 46-year-old woman who had a father with Alzheimer's disease, and she's already complaining about memory loss. And you can actually see in the scan the holes. What the holes indicate are serious areas of low activity in her brain.
That's what those dents are.
That's what the holes and the dents are. And this is 2 years later, after she did the treatment that I talk about in Memory Rescue. Her brain is radically better.
So there is a possibility where you could reverse this.
That's what Memory Rescue is all about. How do you rescue it if you're headed for trouble or you're in the middle of trouble?
But then how do I take my brain out for a walk or a run? How do I give it exercise?
So some of the most important things you can do are exercise, because it increases blood flow,
which is
to the brain.
Okay.
Omega-3 fatty acids, just absolutely
Take them every
critical.
day.
All of them.
And that's just a supplement works?
Supplement can work, especially for people who don't like fish. Plus, people don't know that fish has things like mercury and so on in it. So supplements may actually
be
better. But the most important thing you can do is ask yourself this one question every day. Is what I'm going to do right now good for my brain or bad for it? And you just have to know the list. These things are good. These things are bad.
So a lot of it is food. And exercise
A
in
lot
the
of
brain.
it is
Sure.
food, supplementation, and new learning. New learning. I mean, your job is
I was
perfect because you're always
We're
learning
always
something
learning.
new. Right? And that's really good. When you retire and you stop really being engaged, dramatically
Well,
increases.
it's interesting you say that because you notice, like, people will say, "Oh, she stopped working," and then suddenly her health declined.
Yeah.
So there is a correlation,
There's
a
absolutely
scientific correlation.
big correlation.
So, like you mentioned something about our jobs that we do. Debbie and I will share this. We'll be like, "What? Who was on the show?"
Right.
Does that
Exactly.
not, like we have so much that we move on, and we're like, "Wait, who was it? What was
That's
that last
true.
week?" So
Is
is that a
that-
sign of what? Just
And the more you push to remember that, the better that is for your brain. So those
Yeah, we do
games
that. It's interesting.
that are playing
It's interesting because people do that, and it feels good once I figured it out. I go,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know who was here."
Yeah.
I know it's like we're right.
That's just memory loss, right? That's not a real situation. I mean, I'm not asking you to diagnose
Wait,
us,
wait, I
but
don't know if I
if
want
you
the
had
answer.
to.
There's questions you don't
If
want
you
the
had
answer
to.
to. You just sort of want.
I mean,
Well, we have no attention span now. That's part of
right.
the problem.
And I also
Yeah.
feel that when we're inundated with so much information on a daily basis, all of us, and we have children, and we have husbands, and we have families, that there's only so much your brain can retain. Is that
No, Your
true?
brain can retain a lot.
Really?
You just have to work it and stop constantly distracting it. According to a new study from Microsoft, the human attention span is now 8 seconds. A goldfish is 9 seconds. So this
Oh.
is evolution going the wrong way.
It's more devolution.
So relying on your computer and constantly going and searching things, is this a good mental exercise or
bad
is it being
It's a
why?
bad.
It's a bad thing
Tell me
because
why.
you're constantly distracted from being able to focus. And so I say, turn those things off. And reading a book is so
At
much
length.
better than just constantly being distracted by your gadget.
Can I ask a question about that, about reading? Is there a huge difference between reading a physical book, reading a tablet, or like listening to an audiobook as
Yeah.
far as learning new things and trying to
No,
exercise your
but the
brain?
problem with reading it on your phone is the blue lights that
Okay.
actually disrupt brain function and turn off melatonin production that actually helps you go to sleep. So blue light blockers are really important.
So just a book is the
That's
best.
much better. Oh my God.
Doctor, thank
Wow,
you so
Doctor, thank
much.
you so much for being here.
I need to.
Oh, we're good.
I know.
Now you just need to remember it.
Yes, I
The thing. Thank
Who
you,
was here
Doctor.
yesterday? I don't know.
What's your name?
Oh,
For more information, you guys can pick up a copy of Memory Rescue and please visit amenclinics.com.
All right, coming up next.